Hi, need a ride? Hop on in. I'm headed to Julia's Trucking Cafe. Come on, let's go. Hey everybody, this month I'm going to be doing a video of making chicken soup in your Insta-Pot. So here are the ingredients that I'm going to be using this time. The baby carrots, similar to the beef stew. I cut up some celery, and then I purchased some yellow onion that's already been diced. I bought a large package of these good size boneless and skinless chicken breasts, and I cut it in half, so this is the second part of the package, as well as just some regular vegetable oil to brown the chicken breasts. And I like using Nature Seasonings that has everything in it. There is some salt, but it doesn't contain any MSGs like you see here. It's 25% less sodium, but it has celery and has salt, pepper, onion, garlic, celery, and parsley in this, and I use it on everything. So it's like an all-in-one. These are just on my counter. A little bit of Crisco oil to brown the chicken breasts, and some Schwann's chicken broth. This makes about 3 cups of chicken broth, so that should be plenty to be able to make my chicken soup this go round. So we're going to go ahead and brown these chicken breasts. I'm going to be using a little bit of the oil. And yes, as you can see, I'm at home this time doing it, but the same principle would apply to doing this in your truck. So I'm going to use just a little bit of oil this time because remember when I made the big stew, I used a little bit too much. So just to coat the bottom. And then what's easy to do is you just lift this pan out. The pot out. I can't talk today. Sorry. It's a miserable day today. And just enough to coat the bottom of the pot for when you start simmering the chicken. I have my Insta-Pot plugged in, and I'm going to hit the saute button. And I'm going to turn it down to poultry, and it'll be on medium heat. Don't want to get everybody dizzy, sorry. So I'm taking the chicken and I'm going to lay them down in the bottom of the pot. To get them good and brown. I browned the chicken, and you can hear it's sizzling in the back. Now I don't want anybody to freak out because I just browned. You can see it's still a little bit raw. I just browned the outsides because I want it to cook with the rest of the ingredients. Okay, so it's gonna be raw. I just did it so I could cut it up into pieces, into chunks, and you see how I'm cutting it up here. And I'll cube it all, and then it's going to finish cooking with the rest of the ingredients. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to cut all this up into chunks. Here you can see that I have all of my chicken cut up into pieces. Now I'm going to take my chicken broth. I've already opened the cans. It's easier that way when you're trying to do this one-handed. Pour the chicken broth into your Insta-Pot. Oops. Sorry about that. Here's a second can. Sorry if it's a little jumpy. trying to reach, so get you guys all dizzy. And gals, excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. And then I'm going to add the chicken to the Insta-Pot. As you can see, I added it to it. It took 2 hands, so I had to pause a minute. Then I'm going to add the onion. And then the celery. And then I'm going to be adding baby carrots. Not only do they give some color, but I just like carrots in my soup. Then I'm going to be mixing all of this up thoroughly. And I did season the chicken, before I forget, I did season the chicken while it was just browning on one side or the other a little bit. And then I'm going to set this for about 20 minutes under pressure, and put the lid on, and then set it for about 20 minutes. So there goes the lid, snapping into place. Pressure, it says 30 minutes on there. But then I can go to timer, back it off. And medium high is okay. And now when it turns orange, it's starting to heat up and build pressure. And then when it's on red, that's when you know that it's cooking. And it has presets for poultry, beef, fish, etc. So now it's done cooking, and you see the lever on the top of the lid. I went ahead and pushed that to open, and you see the steam releasing. I want to make sure it's all released before I open the lid. I'm going to caution everybody every time I make one of these videos to make sure all of the pressure is released before you open the lid. So all the pressure was released with the quick release. You can see that it's still boiling a little bit. And I'm sure you're wondering, and as you can see, all the chicken pieces, like I mentioned, did get done. So I'm sure you're wondering, now, where are the noodles? It's chicken noodle soup. Where are the noodles? So since I like homemade noodles, this is noodles, homemade, made from eggs, but they're just in a big pack. You can see they're, 56 ounces. I, use these a lot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this, and I'm going to take out several handfuls and put them in the pot. Then I may add another cup of water, because now we know that the noodles are going to absorb the liquid. And I don't want them absorbing all of the chicken broth, because, then you wouldn't have chicken soup. It would just be like a stew. So there's one handful. I'm just going to sprinkle them around in there. Pretty good handfuls. And that's about an 8-ounce package, I would say. And sometimes I like so much noodles in my soup that I'll even do another one. I like a lot of noodles in my soup. So then like I said, displace the juice or the liquid that the noodles are going to absorb, I'm going to put 1 to 2 cups more of liquid in there, probably 1.5, because that'll be 4 cups of liquid in here, and I don't want the pressure cooker to explode, God forbid. So I'm going to do that. So I added the extra water in there, only about 2 cups. It didn't act like it added a whole lot. And if the noodles absorb some more, more juice than this, you can always add more to it and just cook it for another, 5 minutes. You don't want to cook. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and pressure cook this for only about 5 minutes so that the noodles aren't soggy. That's why I'm putting the noodles in last. So now I close the lid, go ahead and hit pressure and custom and turn it to high. Then, messed up. And I'm human, I mess up. So pressure, custom, high, then timer, and then I'm going to back it down. All the way to about 5 minutes, and the noodles get done just perfect. And then push the button in, and it's going to start building up pressure. And we'll see how they turn out. So with my Insta-Pot, when it's done cooking, it automatically puts it on warm or off. Now, when you put the noodles in there, you have to shut it off, let it depressurize by itself for 30 minutes. Because I made this recipe before, and when I tried to do the quick release, it exploded everywhere. I had white foamy stuff everywhere. So you want to let it settle down and depressurize on its own naturally. So after letting it sit for 30 minutes, I still went ahead and opened up the quick release to make sure again that all of the pressure is off. You can still see that it's releasing some steam. I'm going to wait just a few more minutes. Let the extra vent hold. That's still releasing some steam. Let that get done. Then we're going to go ahead and unlock it. Now it's going to be hot, so be careful. Twist it. Always open it away from you. And you see how the steam is coming out. And there we have chicken soup. So I'm going to stir this a little bit to show you. There's plenty of, with adding that extra water, and the noodles aren't real gummy or real, they're just done. And there's still a lot of liquid in here, extremely hot. But you can see the noodles and all the veggies I put in here and the big pieces of chicken. I'm getting hungry just mixing it around. But I definitely want to let it cool. It's too hot for me to eat right now. And there we have chicken soup. So until next time, everybody stay safe out there and have a blessed day.